Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase, pricing, and availability questions concerning this watch. And this is the Omega Speedmaster triple calendar, sometimes described as the Day-Date, sometimes described as the complete calendar reduced. This is a watch that, as you can see it here, is sort of an upscale alternative to its contemporary Speedmaster Mark 40, a timepiece that launched around 1999 in rose gold. It's 39 millimeters in diameter. You could see it's smaller than the standard moon watch, 14 millimeters thick, but only 44.5 lug-to-lug with an 18 millimeter spacing between the lugs. In rose gold, the watch is substantial and hefty, largely because of the solid case back made of gold. As this strap softens up and breaks in, it's going to wear better and better on a small wrist, to the point where you can see on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, I've got all the clearance in the world between the lugs and the edge of my wrist on each side. Break in the strap, soften it up. This will wear well on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference. It's not thick, but it's not thin, and I think the biggest problem with the cuff is going to be the cantilever of the bezel. The strap's a lovely piece. You can see black leather with a contrasting stitch calfskin, bolstered centers to give it a handsome sort of definition and distinct style. We've got a sheer cut edge with lacquer for refinement, calfskin on the bottom, no crimping, no gouging, brand new Omega factory strap, and we've got a simple rose gold Omega pin buckle. The case is like a moon watch in this respect. It does feature the lyre style lugs, satin mid-case, bevel that runs lug to lug, and then these inner bevels that characterize it as the lyre style. We have a little bit of a shear guard profile for the crown and pushers to protect them. We have a conical tachymetric scale bezel, which can be used with the chronograph seconds hand to gauge the speed of an object, such as a race car around a kilometer, my favorite comparison. A stamped guillot pattern that gives a upscale ambiance at the center of the dial, along with an applique gold Omega logo. We've got a couple things going on here. We've got a pointer style date, we've got a day, we've got a month, we've got a 24-hour indicator that's not a second time zone. It just lets you know, for example, whether you're looking at, let's say, 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. We'll look at where that little hand is. It's coaxial with running seconds. But look at that triangular hand. It's between 18 and 24, so we know we're looking at 9 p.m. And that also gives you a little bit of a cue about, when not to use the pusher correctors to change the calendar. There is a hacking function where if you pull the crown out all the way, you'll stop the movement. But let's race through the turnover there, through the danger zone. Now we can operate the quick set system so you can see how that works. Notice that we've got this pointer date, and when it rolls past the 31st, see where it says May? Now it's going to become June. So you've got a quick set system by virtue of the crown for the date and the month. And then you've also got another quick set system for Sunday. Chronograph, yes. And the chronograph here is based on a Valjoux 7751, which is the triple calendar version of the 7750. Omega has made some changes. Now, this case is water resistant to 50 meters. Inside, we got the caliber 1151, which is what Omega calls the 7751 in Omega service. Unidirectional winding, 44-hour power reserve, stop seconds, quick set, triple calendar, the 24-hour time display, which is essentially an AM-PM system. All of this pivots on 25 joules. It is a chronograph with a cam-based function cycler. But these Omega cam systems, they tune them right. It feels super crisp, really no worse than a column wheel. And then there's an oscillating pinion, which is something that's endemic to 7750 architectures. It's a type of lateral clutch with very little play. So when you start it up, it starts almost exactly like a lateral, or I should say a vertical clutch. It is a lateral clutch system. It's a type of lateral clutch, but it has none of the extraneous jump or leap of the chronograph seconds hand when you start it up, and that's because there's very little play in an oscillating pinion lateral clutch. So there is a lot to love here, and as a 30 millimeter movement, it fills this case quite well. It's a good match of case size to movement size, even though you can't see it. An upscale alternative to the similar steel versions of the same watch. This is a lovely and versatile piece. So reach out to Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.